Hello friends, today I am going to discuss about another question answer for class 8 ICSE course chapter number 2, that is reproduction in plants and animals. First one, what are the major differentiation between asexual and sexual reproduction? First point in asexual reproduction is, in the asexual reproduction, some animals of the lower tissue cells are following this asexual reproduction, and in sexual reproduction some animals with greater changes in tissues and cells are following this type of reproduction. Second one is, no identical twins are formed, but in sexual reproduction identical twins can be formed. Then third point in asexual reproduction is germ cells are not formed, but in sexual reproduction germ cells are formed. Fifth point in asexual reproduction, fertilization does not take place, but in sexual reproduction the fertilization takes place. Then second one, name the various modes of asexual reproduction. So first mode of asexual reproduction is binary fission. So in the binary fission, the fission with two daughter cells are being out from any asexual reproduction process of any cell, like amoeba we can take the example, which is the lower quality of cell. So this is first mode of binary fission. Then comes the multiple fission, in which 5, 6, 7 from many types of cell can be formed in as further we move on to different types of cells. Third one is regeneration. So regeneration is the process in which if one part is damaged of any animal or any body cells of lower cells, they can be improved by this process of regeneration. Like example of lizard. Fourth one, fragmentation. So fragmentation is the process in which spore formation consists, like fungi we can take the example. When hydra is being grown, then one type of fungi is there which is responsible for making the bud, and then when the bud outgrowth is very heavy and the plants releases the bud in the ground, like bryophyllum leaf, when it contains some roots also, whenever it falls down in the soil it starts absorbing the moisture, and it can now also we can talk about a biophyllum tree it can form. Then how does fragmentation differ from regeneration? So fragmentation is the process in which spore formation also consists, like example of hydra, in which bud is forming, then because of the fungi it is also differentiating or cutting out from any part of the plant of hydra or yeast. Then regeneration. In regeneration is a similar but a developed form of fragmentation in which the damaged part of any kind of lower cell animals can be improved. Then fourth one, name three modes of artificial vegetative propagation. So first form of artificial vegetative propagation is grafting. Second mode of artificial vegetative propagation is layering, and third one is tissue culture. Then, what is entomophily? So, entomophily is basically a process in which, because of the agent of insect, the pollination is going on. Then, what do you understand by menstrual cycle? So, menstrual cycle is a process in which the uterus is forming a line whenever in the 28 days the ovum is releasing the egg cells in the fallopian tube, and then the fallopian tube finds that if any sperm is present for fertilization or not. Then the uterus forms a thick lining of blood only, nutritious blood, which contains to give the nourishment and nutrition to the baby if the cell is fertilized and form to zygote and then embryo. If this fertilization process fails for the fertility of that egg cell, that egg cell will be also removed from the out of vagina only, and that dry cells, if not removed, then it will form bacteria. So one major process in our body is there for girls and women, which is known as menstruation, in which the dry blood cells in the form of blood only, it goes out through our vagina. It helps in every month. Then how binary fission and multiple fission differs. So binary fission is different from multiple fission. So let us see both the examples. Like first one, if we take the example of binary fission in amoeba. So in amoeba, two cells are formed after the stretching or division of the cells. But in the multiple fission, it can be differentiated or negotiated in different types of cells like peromosium, in which the cells are being differentiated in multiple forms. Then describe the process of tissue culture. So tissue culture is a process in which a part of tissue is there of any plant. If it cannot be growth out, we take flask a glass flask in a laboratory, it is performed. Bioagriculture factory, it is formed. So like a plant is not present in India, and if you go outside and if you take one cell from it and tissue from it and kept it in a cryophyllum, which is a bacteria which give nutrition to that tissue until it forms to its a root. Whenever it forms a root, then it can be attached in the ground, and then that plant can, after getting the moisture, photosynthesis process and everything, the moisture, sunlight, water, if it get perfectly and in a fixed manner, it can grow again and again, and in that species only many plants can be also grown from that plant tissues. So these are some question answers of this chapter. In next video we'll discuss about next chapter question answers. Thank you.